Welcome back, mi gente. It's your girls, Nati Natalia and that kid Brit, and you are listening to Las Chicas de Barrio 305 podcast. So, today we got a pretty good topic, actually. Brit came up with it. It's the fear of rejection. So, we're going to hit this topic in a few different perspectives. So, one, dating, of course, work field. Yeah. Let's dive right into it. Let's first start off with dating. So, self-rejection and dating. I think dating is like something, well, especially like during quarantine. So y'all haven't listened to our Bumbles episode, go to episode 1 and 2 to listen to our Bumble experience. But I mean,
I'm back on it, just saying.
She's gonna keep us updated with this.
Bro, listen, if I find the love of my life on Bumble better fucking at me.
Yeah. They're gonna sponsor the wedding.
Yeah, I need a sponsorship, like, no games.
But it could be difficult because, you know, people are kind of like mean. People are mean, you know, especially now in society.
No, not weird. Different. It's different.
Yeah. And then I feel like too, sometimes like, okay, so like on Bumble, the girl, we pretty much have the upper hand into doing stuff. So I think being like, it's kind of like, I think it ties into so many things when it comes to dating because we already are like, as women, we already get judged like so much just for like stepping outside in the world. Like, and then when it comes to dating, it's like, oh, like you have like the guys who are machismo and are like, oh no, like you have to do this. Like they're not gonna want a girl who makes more income than them or who much rather
can
go to
drink
work
more than them.
Period. Oh my God, thank you.
They're not ready for that conversation. You know, guys, for me at least, in reference to dating, where I get mostly like, I guess, a fear of rejection. Okay, so I'm the type of person that I like my friends. Like, okay, so for example, all the people that I've liked have been my friends, or most of the people have been my friends first, and then I like them. Okay. But I don't tell them that I like them because of that fear of rejection, because I get scared, because I'm like, damn, like, one, I like you as a person, but two, I could see a possible future, but then my fear comes into play where I'm just like, damn, if I tell you I like you and you don't like me back, then you're gonna make it weird. And then we can't be friends anymore because you make it weird. Because I will never make it weird, personally. Yes. Like, I never make it weird. That's why, like, when people say that they like me, I'm like, okay, cool, but I don't feel that towards you. But then they get, butthurt, and then they never want to talk to me. And I'm like, I like you as a person. I just don't like you as a significant other. Why can't that just be a thing? For example, if I like somebody, right, and I tell them, I know that I'm not going to be butthurt if they don't like me back like that. You know what I'm saying? But because everyone gets so butthurt, I have that fear of rejection in the sense where I feel like people who I really fuck with would be like, damn, like this girl only likes me. And I'm like, no, but I like you as a person more. I just letting you know that I do find an attraction towards you. Mm-hmm. But if you don't like me, like you don't like me, that's it. I can still just keep it broskies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I've mastered this switch, like this internal switch. Yeah. Where I can turn it on if I like you. And then I can just tell myself, nah, it's dead. It's done. Close it. And I like turn it. I don't know how. Listen, a bitch been heartbroken, okay? Yeah. A couple times. So, I mean, this was horrible, but I've mastered the switch where it's like, I don't get butthurt because in my head, I'm like, okay, this is not for me. It's not for me. That's it. Like,
I feel like I'm so opposite. Like, I think of like, oh my God, we're going to get married and we're going to have kids and I'm already planning this future. And I'm like, oh my God, no. And in my head, I'm like, okay, just switch it off now. Like, it's totally fine. But I've never really been in that situation because I feel like the people that I've either been in a relationship or date, they're pretty much like, we were never really like friends. Like, it was wow. I think you're cute. I think you're cute. Like, all right, let's try it. But they've never been like my homies. Like, my homies are my straight homies. Like, love y'all. Maybe, I don't know if God has it in the works, but like never seen you like that.
Wow, I wish. I mean, not all my friends, obviously, but like the friends that I've dated, no, I have to be their friend first because I have to see if I like you as a person. Yeah. Because I don't know, I'm the type of person where I can't meet somebody, like, for example, meet someone at a club and then like a one night thing, or I can't do that. Like, in my head, I'm like, bro, I'm gonna get murdered. That's it. They finna kill me. They finna call my mama and they finna kill me. That's it. Like, They're gonna call Raina in her sleep, and they're gonna be like, "Come identify your daughter. She's dead." Like,
Okay,
yeah,
let's hope not. Okay.
yeah. That's literally this is how my brain works. Okay,
Yeah.
guys. But yeah, I don't know why I have to like know you. I at least need to know your first and last name for sure,
For sure. Yeah.
because I'm gonna tell people this and this. This is who I'm with.
Yeah.
Like,
Thinking the
okay,
suspect is him.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so for me, I haven't been like I'm trying to now. This is hello. This is why I've been on Bumble,
Yeah.
or like I was like on Bumble, but then it wasn't a good experience, so I like laid
hmm
off it for like a lot of months, and
Yeah.
now I'm back on Bumble just to test out the waters or whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like with Bumble at least, I don't have a fear of rejection because I don't know you, you don't know me. We're just trying to see if this works, I guess. So for me, Bumble works in the sense where even if I don't think that we're gonna match, I'll
hmm
still say like you cute, so I'm gonna swipe right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think that's where like I think you have a good mentality where it's like if you're like you're okay with not like if so and so say like we'll call him like Chad. If Chad doesn't find you or like attractive or feel the same way like romantically, I think that's a good mentality to have because I think sometimes the fear of rejection comes from like damn like I'm not good enough. And it's like no you are good enough. It's
Yeah,
just that's not the person for you. Um
exactly.
and it's also to being able to be solid with yourself. Like okay, straight because
Yeah.
I think that's where like growing up, especially like high school, going into college area, but then also like being 21 and you could go to the clubs and there's like hella more people you can meet. I think it's easy to be like, oh well, this person is like they're so attractive and yeah, they may be cute physically, but then it's like they could have a really ugly personality. So I've learned not to take it like
Yeah.
personally or like not to be fearful of rejection because it's kind of like damn like I'm a big believer that everything happens for a reason and I meet people like we come in contact for
Mhm.
a certain purpose in life. So
Yeah.
if that person was like oh nah like nah it's like okay that's either like my higher source like looking out for me because maybe that guy was a
Yeah.
dud or like I don't know like some sort of thing but I think that's a really good mentality that you have.
Yeah, because I'm like, first of all, like to me, it doesn't hurt my feelings. Like,
hmm
for example, you can like somebody, but as long as you're able to say that at the beginning and that person knows, it's like, oh, damn. Like, for example, I know a lot of people, sometimes, for example, it's happened to me before, where you're really cool friends with somebody, right? This happened to me before, actually. This is me reminiscing on old
Yeah.
times. So basically, I liked my friend or whatever, and like, he was really cool, he was really dope, and then like my friends knew that I liked him, but I never said to him, and I would literally kill them if they told him that yo Brit likes you. You feel me? Like I would literally
Yeah.
strangle them. But then one day, one of my friends, because like he was going through something, I guess at that time, I guess I don't know, and so with like another girl, right? And so my friend was like, "Bro, are you stupid?" And the kid that I liked was like, "What are you talking about?" Like, he's like, "You know, Brit likes you, right?" And then he's like, "What?" And he was like shook. He's like, "No, she doesn't," because I'm very good at being just your friend.
Yeah.
Like literally,
Uh-huh.
like
Yeah.
you'll never know that I like you. I swear to on the Lord's name, I don't make it obvious like
hmm
at all. Because for me, it's more of a vibe and like personality. Oh my god, I'm super big on personality. And like you gotta be cute. You feel me? Like if you cute, you
Period.
cute.
Yeah, there has to be
Yeah,
some
yeah.
attraction.
So yeah, and then that's how that came about. Like then he like started realizing that I liked him, and it was like a whole shit show in the beginning, but then we finally got it together and we're like,
Yeah.
okay, so we both like each other. And so okay, cool. And then fast forward to however many months we dated. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's very like that's why I feel like sometimes that can ruin your opportunity to be with somebody that you really like because you're scared that you might get turned down. And then it's one of those things you're like, oh my God, it's so embarrassing, blah, blah, blah. I personally don't care about the embarrassing thing because I'm just like, I'm still a boss ass B and I'm gonna still get this money. You feel me? I'm not gonna let any of this like whole, oh my God, like this person doesn't like me and I'm just a horrible and I'm ugly and I'm this and I'm like, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
I do not ever like make myself lower than I already am, because I know I'm up here.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone that I know, like everyone that knows me, I'm up here. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm right here, right? I'm not gonna sit here and feel bad on myself because someone doesn't like me. I'm like, no, then that means you are not the person for me. Therefore, another person will come along and be that person for me,
Yeah.
you know? And I think that's when you have to get that fear of rejection and like eliminate it from your brain because you're doubting on so many possibilities that life has for you because you're scared, you know?
Yeah. And I think when it comes to dating, I've just come to the realization where it's like, if I'm um scared of rejection, then I need to do some more self loving for myself, self reflecting for
Amen.
myself,
Yes.
because, um, especially when it comes to dating, right? Like, um, I think we put so much emphasis on a person who's
Yeah.
outside of us, because at the end of the day, whether we're in a relationship or we're not, we are still our own person.
Yep.
And I think like it's so sad to see where like some girls are like, or even guys too, like some of my guy friends, like they'll beat themselves up, like, oh, I gotta bulk up, or like, oh, and it's not always about the look, like honestly. And if that
Yeah.
person that rejected you did it based off of looks, then that just speaks to how very, um,
Self-centered that person is
yes,
actually.
yeah,
Like,
like their only concern is how you look. It's not how your heart is. Um, but yeah, so I think that's really good. It's a different type because when it comes to dating, I don't really care about rejection. I'm very more like, whatever. But when it comes to like work, that's where I get scared because
oh,
I'm like, I'll have it's different, and I'm pretty sure it could be different for
yeah.
you, like everybody else. But like when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to dating, I'm kind of like, you know what, fuck it. Like I'll tell you you're cute, or like I am feeling some type of way
Oh
for you.
my
Like
god, I
okay,
wish I
no,
can be
I am
like
very
that.
much like that. Like I'm so much like I, and that's one thing about me that I like that I don't it's not that I don't like it, but it's like I'll make the first move. Like cuz I don't like waiting. Like papito, this is my
She
time.
said, yeah, I was gonna say, she said her time is worth,
Yes,
honey.
okay. And
Money,
then I'm just
baby.
like because like okay, like I'm shy, but
Mm-hmm.
then I'm also like I want to let you know what's up. So it's like and if like I'll set like a time frame like all right,
Yeah,
if he doesn't do
I need some
this,
tips,
like yeah,
please.
like I'll literally like I could sense the vibe, but then sometimes too like this is a whole nother topic of it. It's like masculine and feminine energy, and I feel like I have everybody has both. Okay, like just because you're a girl doesn't mean you just have feminine energy, and then just because you're a guy doesn't mean you just have masculine energy. We are born with both. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I think sometimes like I'm very like I call okay. So for example, my language, if I'm talking to you, it's like bro, dude, man, like I
Yeah,
don't really say like I don't know. Like I just that's just how I talk, but I talk like I call everybody bro. Like my girls I call bros, my bros I call bros, like a
yeah,
guy that I like, bro. Like like that's
yeah.
just how I talk. And sometimes I feel like, oh shoot, like maybe they're getting the wrong impression. But I'll
Oh
let them know because now
yes.
I'm very like communication is so key. Like even
What do you tell
before the
them?
relationship. What do you mean?
Tell
Like
me.
when I'm
Like, how
like,
do they? Like, yeah. Okay, so my thing is, I don't know how to tell people that I like them. How do you
okay.
tell them? What do you say? Because I
Um
clueless.
honestly, I feel like I don't even remember like what I say. I think it just depends on the person too. Um, but if they're like me, like I'll tell them straight out, like, yo, like I really dig your vibe. Like not just like you're like, yeah, you're cute, but like your way, your personal being, like I would definitely love to like date you, but
Damn,
like I'm not
they
gonna date
like
you to
that
like
personal being shit, huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
girl,
Okay, I
and it's like,
know.
and then I'll ask them too, like, hey, what are you doing? Because I hate when guys don't make plans. Like, I'm a very much of a person, like, if you want to hang out with me, you need to tell me. And then, like,
Yeah.
two, sometimes, like, I have so much shit going on that if you're not telling me something, or I could not even be paying attention, like, if you're texting me, and I'm like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay, like, whatever. Like, sometimes I won't, like, show emotion because I'm just busy. So I'll just let the person know, like, hey, like, I want to go on a date with you. Like, but it's not gonna be a day where it's like, oh, just like whatever. Like if we're homies, I'm gonna let you like, hey bro, let's hang out. But if I'm dating you and I wanna get to know you, I'm gonna be like, look, I see this going somewhere, maybe, hopefully. But would you be down to like get a drink with me? Would you be down to go like, I don't know, like fucking the park or something? And
Okay.
like, but I think you need to establish that, like, let them know that it is like, it's not just a hangout, like, it is a date. And if it's somebody who you don't want to like date, like let them know like, oh, we're just gonna hang out, and maybe even invite somebody else to join, so that way there's like no confusion. But yeah, just being straight up with people. And I've had that, like, people are like, I would let them know like, if I'm not feeling you, I'm not feeling you. And it's that's also something that I've had to learn. It's like, um how to reject people, because self-rejection
Yeah.
sucks, but also too, like, I shouldn't feel bad if I don't have the same exact feelings somebody else has, because
Yeah.
those are my feelings, and I'm not going to honor myself, and I'm just going to sit here and, like, at the end of the day, like, I'm uncomfortable, I don't feel
Yeah.
cool, like, this isn't natural to me. I'm gonna let you know. And it's like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, dude, you suck, or like, no, like, I'm gonna let you know,
Yeah.
like, I think you're a dope person, but you're just not the one for me. Like, frankly, like, I need someone who has different characteristics, and that doesn't mean you need to change, because if you change yourself, like, I'm still not gonna like you, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and I hit them with the bro, like,
Yeah.
like, this is not going anywhere. um but yeah, girl, just let them know like, hey, I'm
Oh
feeling your
my
vibe, or like, let's
god.
hang out, like, let's chill.
I guess was a horrible year. But for
Mm-hmm.
me, I was feel like I was very enlightened. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like in the sense of like I'm like, wow, I really sat down with myself and I was really like, bro, like what do you want to do with your life? Like what do you plan on doing? You know, like we created this podcast, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like this has like literally like taken off a blindfold. You know, this is something like we would talk
Yeah.
about like years ago, like, you know, like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, what if we had our own show? And like now we have a
Yeah.
podcast, you feel me? So like I think that for me at least, like 2020 was a year of self healing and like
Mm-hmm.
dealing with my trauma. And like even 2021, it still continues on of how I can evolve into a better person. Therefore, I propose to myself and to you guys and even to Nat, like, you know, like try to not use reject that fear of rejection so much in your daily life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you want to do something, just do it, you know? Stop saying, oh my God, but what if? But what if? Because the what if is going to kill your chance that you have of doing something that might be so positive and might literally evolve your persona so much that you're going to miss that opportunity because of that fear of rejection, you
Yeah.
know?
I think you also have to get really good at silencing the other opinions
Oh,
from your
yes.
family, from your friends, from the world. Like, and that's why I'm a firm believer in moving in silence, because it's just
Hmm.
easier, because I think a lot of people, when you bring a lot of people's opinions into it, like, I think you lose the authenticity of what you're trying to do. And
Yes.
you do take that chance, like small businesses or whatever you're trying to do, like, it may fail, you may fail, but at least you're gonna have that experience rather than just like staying safe. And like,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I have to practice what I preach sometimes, because like, I'm pretty, like, right now I'm going through a transition where I'm transitioning from one work arena to a next new one.
Hmm.
um and I've been doubting myself. I've literally been self-doubting myself, like, no, like, I'm not good enough, or like, I'll get intimidated and I'm like, okay, but what about if it's not for me? But I have to remember. And it's crazy because I have so much confidence when it comes to like dating, but like when
Oh
it
my
comes to
God.
like me in the professional work field, I put a lot of pressure on myself, that like, I have to be perfect, I can't fail, or like, um I guess in a way, like, I want to be looked at as like the girl who does it all.
Yeah.
And I'm not always going to be that. So I need to take what I feel, like, that confidence, into the work field, because I get so like, I don't want to be rejected. I don't want to, like, oh, you didn't get the job, because like, no, I want that job. I want that money. But at the
Yeah.
same time too, like, everything does happen for a reason. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Honestly, I feel like I'm the opposite of you in that sense. Because where
Yeah.
I fail in fear and rejection of dating, when it comes to the work environment, I thrive, honey.
Yeah.
Okay. If I say I want that job, I will get that job. I
Yeah.
promise you. There's sometimes, okay, I'm gonna give a really good tip out there for our listeners who are applying to jobs, because we all in the same boat, because I'm trying to get a better
Mhm.
paying job as well. You're not alone in this, okay? Um, but I realized, you know, apply to that job that says you need 4 to 5 years experience. Still apply to it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
don't let what you see up under qualifications be like, oh no, well I can't do that. No, 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 no. Because at the end of the day, what you bring to the table is yourself. You need to sell yourself at that interview. So apply to that job. When they give you
Yeah.
that call back, your goal is to sell the interview, sell yourself in that interview. You know what I'm saying? And I think people fail and they have this fear of rejection, like, oh my God, but I don't have the experience. I don't have this. I don't have that. Let me tell you, me, okay, myself, I went from working at a mall for like God knows through high school and the beginning of college to where I ended up going to a law firm. Okay, like
Mm.
that's two completely different things. So we're talking retail and law firm corporate world.
Yeah.
I had only literally retail experience on my resume. I applied on Craigslist, guys, okay, to like legal assistant. That's what I applied to.
Yeah.
Boom. Little did I know I was getting an interview to a really like great law firm, not gonna lie, right? I sold myself in the interview. Do you know what my first question on my interview was? Who's your favorite superhero? We started talking about anime. Okay, I said Naruto. Okay, my literally my interview for a corporate world was me
Yeah.
selling myself, talking about Naruto and his leadership skills and how I find like how I viewed it and how he's such an amazing leader to his people and things like that. And I'm literally just selling myself, being 100% authentic and selling who I am, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that got me the job. Like literally,
Mm-hmm.
like that literally got me the job. So, guys, when I'm saying if you don't have the experience, apply to that job because you might get a call back. You might get someone to say, hey, I still want to interview you, you know? And you have to sell yourself, yo. Like, be prepared, like, know everything about you. That's why I say sometimes it's so nice to just sit with yourself and,
Mm-hmm.
like, literally in quietness, like, with no one in the room, and say, like, all these things that you've done, you know? Highlight what are your best highlights? You know how everyone puts on Instagram their highlights of like
Yeah.
what they do. Okay, what are your highlights? So if you had to make an Instagram page about yourself, what highlights would you put on? Like that's what you're
That's a good
selling yourself
point,
in. You know
actually.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like bro, think
Yeah.
about that, yo. There's so many things like for me, example, I'm very much so a people person. So when it comes to jobs, like I thrive in that because I'm like, you know what? Yeah, you might not think that I have this experience, but yo, let me show you what I've done. Let me show you all these
Mm-hmm.
flyers I've done. Let me bring that on top of my resume. Let me show you all the flyers I've done. Let me show you the Instagram accounts handles that I do.
Mm-hmm.
Let me show you this. Let me show you that. Like, because at
Yeah.
the end of the day, you only have 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes in an interview,
Yeah.
if that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, sell yourself. And at the end of the day, as long as you know that you went in there and you showed them everything about yourself and you sold yourself, they're gonna see that confidence in you that they're gonna be like, you know what? This person may not have the experience, but they have the personality, but they have the
Yeah.
work environment, but they're prepared, they brought their resume, they're bringing samples of their work, like you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like you can only thrive from there. That's why like honestly, any job that I've applied for, I've always gotten. And
Mm-hmm.
thank God, knock on wood, because he be
Yeah.
looking out. But like, because that's the thing where I go, that's one thing that I can go into an interview and I'm like, you know what, Brittany, you got this. It's for you. That's it. I can already envision myself there. So when you're envisioning yourself in something, you're not worried, you're not scared. That's why like when I know some of my friends are like, oh my God, I'm so nervous for this interview. And I'm like, it's just an interview. Like, you
Yeah.
know yourself. Who knows you better than you?
That's true.
You know?
You're so inspirational right now, man. I'm like,
Listen,
okay.
so
Because
listen, when
it's
it comes
true
to
though.
dating,
Like,
I'm
it's
terrible. But when it comes to jobs, listen, I'm your
that's why we
girl. I
balance each
got you.
other out.
Yes, literally. But
Dude, that is
honestly,
so
guys,
true though. Like
right?
everything you're saying is like 100%. And then I think like it's something that I need to hear too because like when you were saying like who knows yourself better than like me, and it's like it's so true. And I think like when it comes to the work field, like I try to make myself like I guess like um how can I say
Like
like
fit
I
that
don't
requirement.
yeah, like I'm so busy trying to fit in to what like they tell me I should be instead of just
Yeah,
being me. Like this is Natalia and this is what I'm gonna bring to your company. And
yeah,
I'm instead I'm trying to mold to be like a perfect fit where like I think sometimes I'm trying to fit into somewhere where I just don't fit in, you know? And then
yeah,
that's where like my work experience, like I've always kind of gone where like the where the money reside, you know? Like and cause you know, I have bills, I have shit
yeah.
to do too, but now why I'm transitioning is because it's something more of a passion of mine that I realize that like
Hmm.
I am good at this and I can make money, but I'm downing myself because I don't have those 5 years experiences. I don't
Yeah,
have that degree. Um and like I may not have that, but I have a lot of other stuff that like I started two small
Exactly.
businesses. I've started this podcast with you, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes I forget that. Like even when they're like, "Oh, tell me about yourself." I'm like, nothing. You know?
Yeah, or
And
like,
like I'm like, "Oh my god, bro." And then it's until I talk to my other friends or like you, and I'm just like,
mhm.
"You're fucking right. Like why didn't I say that?" You know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
hello.
It's like you
Duh.
draw a blank. Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it took me, I want to say, like I said, Robert Wayne, like, was a very big stepping stone for me. Because
Mhm.
my first job ever was working at an ice cream shop. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I was selling gelato ice cream,
Yeah.
scrubbing floors. Like, bro, I was hustling at 17, I think. And
Yeah.
then I ended up getting a second job. So I was working at the ice cream store and I was working at Robert Wayne. My job was in high school. So I was going to high school Monday through Friday
Mm-hmm.
all the time. And so I can honestly say I'm grateful that I was able to make that transition from like ice cream to selling shoes, because through that company I was able to gain so much self-confidence within myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, like throughout high school, I think up until my senior year, I was a very quiet person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I only knew a handful of people. Like, I only
Yeah.
hung out with a handful of people. It wasn't until
Yeah.
my senior year that I was like, okay, like this is Brittany motherfucking NC. You feel me? Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is who the hell I am. You know, let me present that killer Brit came into the making, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think because I was able to do that transition within my work field from working into a company that invested into their employees, that showed them, yo, like you have to be confident, you have to be able to talk to people, you have to be able to sell people shoes. So people every day can buy shoes anywhere. You know
Yeah.
what makes your shoes different than any
Mm-hmm.
other company, than like
Yeah.
Journeys or something, you know? So I
Mm-hmm.
think through them I was able to gain that self-confidence, or I'm like, yo, like I began envisioning myself like people would come in to look and I'm like, no, you're gonna buy this shoe because I'm about to sell you this shoe and you're about to wear this shoe and you're about to walk out in these shoes. Okay.
Yeah.
Like that's how much I was so set with like, nah, like I'm not gonna sit here and like,
Mm-hmm.
no, I'm not gonna lose money on my end. Because why? Because I'm scared. Nah,
Mm.
that's not gonna happen. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna buy this shoe, you're gonna buy this eraser and these socks because they buy one get one free, and you're gonna leave with shoes and socks and the eraser to clean your shoes. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So you have to, I feel like, take that time to literally envision yourself to say this is what's gonna happen. You speak that into existence, because the minute you speak into existence, it's coming out verbally, right?
Mm.
That's something that you're putting into the universe. It's
Yeah.
coming out. Everyone can hear it. You're talking to yourself. I'm gonna do this, and guess what? You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it because you're gonna do it at the end of the day. You know.
Mm.
That's why I highly
Go
like.
off, sis.
I'm telling you, when it comes, listen, when it comes to jobs, that's one thing that I always thrive in. I always do,
Mm.
because I know how to pinpoint people. I know how to read a room. I know I could tell if somebody's mad due to their like nonverbal
Mm-hmm.
communication that they're doing and things like that. Like those are all triggers that you have to pay attention to. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to like jobs and stuff like that, just to really like show, like literally sell yourself, bro. Like you know how much you're worth, and do never, oh, and I would always do this before and I'm learning now, that's one thing I have to practice in, is never sell yourself short. You know, for
Mm.
example, if you want to get paid a certain amount of money, don't ask for less. Don't take less. You know how much you're worth. So don't sit here and be like, oh my god, but I really need this job, so I'm just gonna take the $13, even though you know you're worth 17. Because at the end
Yeah.
of the day, those $17, your coworker's probably getting paid that. And
Mm.
because you wanted that job and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna settle for less, now you're getting paid 13 while your coworker's eating at 17. And I've
Yeah.
done that a lot from personal experience. Now, right now, I'm in this transition still. So we're all doing it together, guys. I promise you.
Yes.
We're all in it together. Where I'm just like, no,
Yeah.
like, why am I gonna sit here and work for less when I know my value? I know that I'm worth 60, 70, $80,000 a year. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not worth what I'm making right now. I know it. I already know. I'm here to better myself. I'm here to evolve. Therefore, why am I going to retract my personal value?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you're an asset to that company.
Mm.
Think
Amen.
about that. They need you at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Though you are a number and you're replaceable, they need you at that point in time. They're paying you for your time.
Yeah,
So
that's
might as
true.
well
Yeah.
get the most of your money while you're in that work field.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like as you were speaking, I was just like reflecting on like my jobs and the stuff that I've done. So I started off like retail too, and then I transitioned into hospitality. And I remember like when I interviewed for a hotel in Miami, I was like so confident, like, nah, bitch, like you need me, like this is what it is, because I was so hungry to like get away from retail, because retail, it was like a comfort zone. Like I knew I could sell you this dress, I knew I could sell you this collection, I knew I could help you. But when
Mhm.
it came to hospitality, I was like, okay, like this is gonna be like in a way like a real corporate job, you know, it's more serious, where like I have to cater to a different kind type of clientele. um so like I don't have like, I guess like I've been in hospitality for like so long. I know how to fucking do it. Like I'm
Yeah.
comfortable with it. Like I walk
Mhm.
into a like I would apply for hotel jobs and I'm like, I already know I got the shit. Do I want the
Yeah.
shit? No. Because like
Yeah.
fuck this, you know?
Yeah.
But now like it's so true. Like you, I think you just have to show them like you, why you're the best like literally why you're the best candidate, what makes you different. And then um yeah, like just don't be scared. And that's why I need
Yeah.
to tell, like I say it all the time to my friends, but I need to do it more. Like don't be scared, because I'm always scared.
All in all, just to end this dope ass episode of our podcast, I just want to say throw away that sense of fear of rejection. Please
Yeah.
try it for one day. Literally, try it for one day and just say, you know what, today I'm just going to be positive, Polly. And like, I'm just going to do anything that's in your mind. You're going to go ahead and you're going to do it. Okay?
Yeah.
You're going to go ahead, you're going to do it. And then you're going to see how good you're gonna feel inside the fact that you don't have this negative thing in your head saying, "Oh no, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna become successful. You're not gonna do anything." Blah blah blah. X, Y, and Z. Whatever your negative thoughts go to, and just say, "Yo, I'm gonna do it. Listen, I'm doing it right now on this whole dating thing. We'll stay tuned in a month to see how that goes, and just
Yeah.
say YOLO. You know, Nat's gonna be working on her job, on
Yeah. I'm
her
literally gonna fix my resume after this. Like
yeah, like you know what I'm saying. Like, go ahead, target one area that you want to improve on, and then
hmm
move to the next area. You know, guys.
yeah.
So always, it's always a pleasure being on here. It's always great talking to you guys. You guys are literally amazing. I literally love you
Yes.
guys.
And thank
Also,
you.
yes, I
Yeah.
want to say thank you so much to everyone that participated in our Project Amor.
Yeah.
We have a new project coming up for Women's Month.
Yes. Stay tuned for
Yes,
that, because it's going to be
yes.
lit and we're definitely going to need a lot of help with that as well. But we really appreciate you guys. Project Amor went super, super great. It was literally like me and Britt were on like a high the whole
Oh
weekend.
my
Like it
God,
was just
literally.
nonstop positive vibes. But
Yeah.
yeah, thank you so much for everybody who helped us with that, who wrote a message or just even encouraged us. We got a lot of messages saying that they really loved seeing us do something for our communities. So yeah, so thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Yes, LA, stay tuned. Let me tell
Period.
you, we got good stuff coming to LA. So
Yeah,
LA area, stay tuned. All
for
right,
real.
we love you guys. Yeah, you already know West Coast, best coast. You feel me? Even though I love the East Side, but
She's a
we
West
love you
Coast at
guys.
heart.
My soul is West Coast, but my body's like East Coast, baby.
Yeah, for now.
So I'm just a mix, you know. All right, you guys, we love you. Bye.
Bye.